Okay, hey, welcome to another episode of On Point EDC. Today we have a really cool review for you from the brand RZE. It's actually a bit of a sneak preview, but actually by the time of release, you should be able to put this knife on pre-order. A little bit about RZE. They're actually a microbrand watchmaker that focuses on outdoor adventure-based models with their signature angular aesthetics. And they have now begun expanding into the pocket knife market. Now, in terms of the knife, I'd consider this, of course, a mini or a micro EDC folding utility knife. And some key characteristics and design when you're looking for something within this genre. Of course, you're going to want a very pocketable size and a versatile blade shape. Now, in terms of the pocketable size, this is actually designed to, which is actually kind of a nice nod to their watchmaking history, is this is meant for your fifth pocket, which is actually your pocket just traditionally for a pocket watch. So I think that's pretty cool that a watch company is actually making a microblade that's specifically meant to fit in your pocket watch pocket. So I think that's pretty cool. This is known as their HexEdge, and it's RZE's first microblade built to be capable, tough, and ultimately pocketable for your everyday carry. It's a front flipper with a liner lock, and it has this really cool titanium finish coating on the blade, the liners, the pocket clip, and the little pry tool on the back, which also serves as a little hole to run a lanyard through if you want to do that. So the very cool thing about this is it's only 33 bucks via Kickstarter for early backers. So that is extremely affordable. Yes, this is really small, but it actually packs a lot of really great features and materials that you would normally see in much more expensive knives. And honestly, even the choice of steel, which is D2, which is a tool steel, is actually a really great choice, especially considering the price. So with all that said, let's go ahead, zoom the camera out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. Okay, now before we dive in, quick customary wristwatch check. I'm actually wearing an RZE watch. This is their Resolute with the marbled or forged carbon fiber dial. It is fully titanium, a great brushed finish, and it also has a hardened coating on it. So this is really perfect for EDC, but it also gives you an idea of where this, angular design language comes from, right? Like they definitely feel like they're from the same brand and not just because of that cool R branding. So when you take a look here, you're going to be getting G10 scales, which is great. You're also even going to get a cool anodized pivot collar. You're going to have this great D2 blade and a nice deep carry pocket clip. Also, this little pry tool here on the back, that little hole serves as an extra space to run a lanyard through if you really wanted to. Of course, you unlock the blade here, and then you see it has a nice front flipping mechanism. So it comes out, and you can do this one-handed. And this thing is very small, guys, very stout. It's only 4 inches, just slightly over 4, so it's 4.09 inches. The blade length itself is well under 2 inches at 1.67 inches. The closed length of the body here into the handle is only about 2.44 inches, and then the weight is just under 2 ounces at 1.94 ounces. So this thing is nice and light, nice and small, and quite discreet. I mean, it's so small, again, it's really meant for that pocket watch or fifth pocket on a pair of jeans. So this will really disappear, which is nice. And this can be either a primary blade, or a backup very easily, especially considering the size. And one of the nice things is, although it is very short, it still has a nice grip to it, to where you can get a little 2-finger grasp on that, and you can still hold this and get things done, which I think is nice, and I can appreciate that for sure. So this is coming to Kickstarter in early February, which is actually, by the time I'm releasing this, it should be February 1st. So this is already should be live on Kickstarter, pending, of course, any type of change of plan. But as you're watching this, there should be a link already for you to click down in the description if this does interest you. Again, only 33 bucks for the those early backers. So you're getting a D2 tool steel, which is great in terms of, you know, toughness and everything like that. Of course, it will take on a patina over time because it is a tool steel versus, you know, super steel, you know, that really focuses on the stainless attributes. And again, at the end of the day, stainless really means it stains less. So it's not stain proof, even when you are getting a stainless steel. There are some steels that are out there that really work some magic that are you know, rust proof and whatnot. But the nice thing here is you're not going to get any types of those compromises when it comes to your blade, right? Being a tool steel, this is made for cutting tasks, and it's really going to be quite resilient from that standpoint. You're getting a nice little clip point blade, nice flat grind, not super high or anything, but it is nice and flat and relatively thin behind the edge here. As you can see, although it's short and stout, it's not you know, extremely thick or anything like that, which is nice. So you can kind of get that aesthetic without having to, you know, pay the price of a much thicker blade stock. So I can appreciate that. And I do like this contoured and textured G10 handle. I mean, again, a lot of times for you to get G10, you'll be paying a little extra. And again, for something that costs so little, it's definitely really nice. And as you can see, it's going to ride nice and deep, you know, into the pocket there. So it's going to be nice and out of the way most of the time. In-hand ergonomics, smaller, but still a nice 2-finger grip there. The jimping really does help lock your hand in. Let me make sure it's all the way out there. So the jimping can really help you lock in if you are going to do some precise cutting. And again, this isn't really meant to be some survival knife. This is definitely meant on the EDC side. So if you do need to, you know, cut a loose thread on a shirt, or, you know, cut open a box, you know, whatever it may be, cut the balloon string at a birthday party for kids, you'll have something that's not going to scare anybody. And if anything, some people might think it's pretty cool just because in a small size here, you're actually packing in a ton of design, which I really like. So the action is really smooth. You can see fast open. And then, of course, it's a very short one, so you're probably just going to close it manually versus, you know, trying to get a drop shut type of feel. If you really, it's just so small, it's going to be tough to do that. I mean, you can do it if you wanted to. And then, of course, let's say you're in a place where, you know, people are really, really uncomfortable knives. You can even do a two-handed open if you wanted, the way that they have this set up. You do two-handed slow roll, so you're not going to scare anybody doing a quick little flick. Sometimes that can throw people off. So you'll be good from that perspective. And then you can see the lockup is quite nice as well there. Just where you would want it to be. You don't want it to be too far over. You don't want it to be, you know, barely engaged. So very nice. And then you can also see while we're here, let's check out the blade centering. If I can find something that gives me good enough light, you can see the blade is centered quite nicely. So no trickery you're going to have to do there to realign anything. This is going to just work really nice for you. So, and then it has really great front flipper geometry. So you can either do the pullback with the index, or you can do the thumb kind of, you know, the lighter style, which works as well. Of course, you have a lot less purchase when you're holding the knife. So when you do something like this, you're going to want to make sure that you know what you're doing, because you don't want this thing to go flying while it's open. So I would probably suggest maybe sticking to just pulling it like that, so you can keep a nice amount of purchase. And the nice thing also, since it is a liner lock, you don't have to worry about putting any pressure on, let's say, the lock face. If this was not a liner lock, but if it was a frame lock, then you would have to worry about tension on the lock face, on the lock bar. So you're going to see that this is still going to ride nice and smooth, open and close there. And it is really, really small, guys. Extremely small. Like, this is smaller than even traditional knives when you think about something like let's say, let me grab something here. Even when you think about, let's say, a Swiss Army knife here, of course this is the A-lock scale, but this is, I believe, about this pretty standard 93 millimeter length. And you can see much smaller, although the wideness on the footprint so you can get nice grip on it is definitely there. So that's great, but you can see even extended, it's only slightly smaller. You know, I'll say only slightly larger than a Swiss Army knife that isn't even opened up. So, and then also the thickness wise is you're going to be getting something that's thinner, also thinner stock, well, in terms of the handle. But the nice thing is with the wideness, you can really dial that in from that perspective. Then when you start getting in the pocket, of course, it lays nice and flat. You do have a special pocket for it if you are wearing jeans, which, you know, I think this is, you know, again, this is not really meant to be some knife you take and throw in your bug out bag or, you know, have tactical gear on. This is definitely something you can just bring with you on your EDC. So jeans are definitely going to be kind of the default setting, and then these will always have a place in any pair of jeans, which is great. And in terms of model variants, definitely check the links for options and availability. Of course, I'm just reviewing and previewing this really cool little you know, prototype pre-production. So the ones that you guys will actually get your hands on are going to be even nicer and more refined in terms of the production quality. But I will say the quality that you're getting here is actually still quite nice. Even at this level, you can see the jimping is nice and defined. It's sharply done, but not sharp to the touch. So it's nice and crisp in terms of the finishing. The edges here do have some really nice bevels and chamfers, so everything feels finished, which is really, really nice. And yeah, so for me, even getting into some comparable models, typically I'm not really into micro carry type of knives. So, you know, this one I think was kind of too cool to pass up, so I had to look into it. And also, of course, I'm a big fan of RZE watches, so they put out something else. I'm definitely wanting to take a look at it. And I think that they put out something really, really cool. So for me, guys, bottom line here, this is absolutely a great balance of form and function in a fully modern and very affordable package. Again, $33. I don't know what the full price will eventually end up being, if it'll go up or anything like that, but you're getting 33 bucks. You're getting G10, you're getting nice steel liners, everything matching, of course, you know, with that cool titanium coating, D2 tool steel, which is going to sharpen really easily and well. And yeah, this thing is gonna, it's a tool for sure, a cutting tool, and it actually looks kind of awesome as well. And of course, you know, has that nice design language that I think really ties in to their watches in terms of being quite angular, and you know, purpose built at the end of the day. So with all that said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like the video, please do a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.